So, Jace, it's always great to see you because every time I talk to you, there's
Mm.
always something new at yung mga ideas mo are really my type of artist. You know, a thinking type of artist. That's what I like. And I think that's why people gravitate towards you. We are here to talk about Inferno. Is that
Yes
right?
po. Yes.
Sige, tell us about Inferno. What is it?
Inferno po is the mini album coming out on December 16. It's the compilation of all the singles I released this year. That includes the Para Sa'yo, Be Someone, Trust, and Back to the Beginning. And yun po, Inferno yung title because lifted yung title from Dante Alighieri's
Again.
Divine Comedy. Because with Divine Comedy, with Inferno, dinidescribe na yung very vividly, graphically, yung descent niya into the 9 circles of hell. And ako naman, in contrast to that, yung Inferno mini album ko, dinidescribe ko dito vividly and graphically yung experiences ko for the past couple of years. The hell I went through. Kaya Inferno is a representation of my hellish experience for the past 2 years.
So it's a compilation album in a sense, ano?
Actually, it's a mini album, but yung naging strategy was to release all the tracks as a single. Kasi 4 tracks po siya.
Oh. And then come up with Inferno.
Yes, na parang naging opposite ng usual strategies kasi usually drop muna ng carrier single, then labas ng album, then saka ka magre-release ng additional singles. But with me, nirelease ko na lahat ng singles, tapos saka ko i-drop yung actual project.
And here it is. I understand na, and as you said nga, no, it's about, the songs are about pain, suffering, your pain and suffering because of what you went through. In a relationship, tama, no?
Yes, the relationship, the industry, my family, all sorts of pain. Halo-halo siya ng pain.
How was it? It's one thing to feel pain. It's another thing to use that pain to come up with something else. And in yours, and in this case, something beautiful.
I guess there's always beauty and tragedy. Na parang usually pag may namamatay tayong relative, di ba, yun din yung nagiging reunion. So even though sad siya, doon nagre-reunite yung families. So with personal tragedies, meron pa rin naman beauty that will come out of it. Na once matapos ka na dun sa grieving, sa anger, sa lahat ng negative emotions, doon mo ma-appreciate na everything you went through has a purpose for you to become the person that you are today. So, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan kong pagdaanan to become a better person, a better artist. Overall, it's an experience I needed para sa growth ko.
A better person and the celebrated person in the industry. I understand this year, it's been a good one for you. You've had lots of nominations from several award-giving bodies.
Yes.
Ano nga yun, Jace?
Na-nominate po ako sa Awit Awards and sa PPOP Awards.
Ayun. Nakita kita sa Awit Awards.
Yes.
I saw you there. Sa PPOP Awards. How do you feel about recognition, especially from your peers?
Very important po siya sa akin as a creative person because yun naman talaga yung gusto ko mangyari from the start, na magkaroon ako ng marka, to have my own mark, to carve my own path away from my relatives in the industry. And ngayon nagagawa ko na siya, na I have my own distinction na ngayon from them. Then it's a very big win rin kasi out of all the nominees, ako lang yung independent with Awit, na kaya natin makipagsabayan sa mga major label artists na nagsiset yun ng, pwede siya mag-set ng goal sa mga ibang artists na hindi mo kailangan maging major label artist. Kailangan mo lang magpursige, kailangan mo lang gandahan yung craft mo, and ipakita mo lang yung totality mo as an artist, and eventually the industry will recognize you. Kasi minsan yung iba pinanghihinaan ng loob just because, hindi ako na-sign sa ganitong record label, hindi ako na-sign sa ganito. Pero it's not the end of the line. Mas magkakaroon ka pa nga ng liberty to showcase who you are.
And what's nice about your story is that you really started from shall we say, from scratch, ano? Hindi
Yes.
naman agad yung unang single mo, milyones ang views.
Yes, yes.
So you
First
got,
single ko,
you grew
1,000
your
streams lang.
audience. Alam yung views ng first single mo?
First single ko, 1,000 streams lang.
Ang layo na ngayon, Jace.
Yes, yes.
So, paano obviously, natatawa ka when you think about it. But siguro
Yes.
nung time na yun, tuwan-tuwa ka na.
Yes, during that time, kunyari may makinig, yun nga, may makinig lang na 1,000, very happy na ako. Then, eventually, nag-grow to 50, to 200, 300, until mag 1 million na parang, it's a never-ending surprise na talaga na parang every release, nasa surprise lang ako na, uy, akala ko na-reach ko na yung goal ko, but increase lang siya na increase every release.
And the reward for you as an artist, ako na magsasabi the reward for you as an artist is hindi ka nag-compromise. You never compromised your integrity.
Yes.
And we can hear that from every single that you release. In fact, etong ang Inferno, nung una kong nabasa ko pa lang sa release, sabi ko, sabi naman si Jace mag-isip kasi, hindi naman simplehan, di ba? Kailangan may concept, kailangan may pinanggagalingan. Why do you think people would relate to your pain and suffering?
I guess because my experiences are very universal. Hindi lang naman ako yung, when it comes to love, hindi lang naman ako yung naloko. Parang lahat tayo at some point na experience natin maloko. Whether, no matter how tragic it is, gaano kaliit, gaano kalaki yung panloloko, lahat tayo na-experience natin yun. With career, di lang naman sa showbiz nangyayari na ang daming red tape na dinadaanan, na ang daming expectations na kailangan i-meet. Masala na with family. Hindi lang ako yung anak na nila-layout na lahat for me, tapos kailangan ko sundin lahat yon or else masama kang anak. So parang, it's a very universal experience na unique lang siya because it's from my own point of view.
Relationship-wise, di ba kasi based on a relationship, di ba?
Yes.
So, what is the beauty of pain and suffering in a relationship, looking back? Is there beauty in pain and suffering?
Well, yung beauty nun was the happier times.
Right.
Pero yung suffering came after na mag-breakdown ng lahat ng foundations.
Tama.
Dun mo talaga, but the beauty is nakabangon. Yun pa rin naman. There's beauty in overcoming your heartbreaks and heartaches na you will come out stronger. Pero kung tatanungin ko, necessary ba na dapat sinaktan ako to become this person that I am today? Siguro hindi. Hindi ko kailangan pagdaanan yung ganong klaseng heartbreak. Kasi sa dami-dami na in-experience ko na for the 30 years of my existence, I think too much na yung suffering and tragedy na na-experience ko para dumagdag pa yung sa love life.
I read some of the articles written about you, and in some of them nga you talked about your single one by one, pero for the benefit of our viewers, can you walk us through every track in Inferno?
Yes. Di Para Sa'yo is the only Tagalog track. Dun po, dinidiscuss ko yung journey ko to finding my self-worth. Sa relationship rin siya nakabase na after loving someone, ma-realize mo na hindi pala siya worth it. So you just end up loving yourself. Then Be Someone naman is about my journey naman sa showbiz na ang daming expectations na I just wanna be myself. Ayokong diktahan niyo ako. Then Trust naman is about yung confrontation ko with my past relationship na nagkaroon ng third party. So it's the whole transcript ng confrontation namin put into a song. Then Back to the Beginning naman is yung experience ko naman growing up, managing my parents' expectations. So lang talaga siya, it's a series of pain.
To viewers who are watching this video, notice niyo yung eyes ni Jace pag nagsasalita siya. It's really coming from somewhere real, somewhere inside. Ako nakikita ko, Jace, whenever you talk about your songs, and I think that's what makes them really special, and eventually that's what grew your audience.
Yes.
They know na this is coming from a real place. Pero ang hirap, like ako, ang hirap like minsan iniisip ko, how much would I bear to my audience? But with you, para bang, I'll just bear it all. Tama ba?
Oh, yes.
Why so brave to do that?
I guess it comes rin with yung sa training ko sa acting. Because
Ah,
as an actor, we were trained to be vulnerable, to tap emotions na ayaw namin usually itap. So from my experiences as an actor, na-carry over ko yun with my music. Na
right.
every time with sa mga eksena, kasi kailangan mo humugot from your personal experience for you to deliver a very compelling performance. So with my music, doon na rin, when I stopped acting, parang saan ko pa pwede i-apply yung learnings ko. So in-apply ko na lang siya sa music, which is ang hirap talaga maging vulnerable, pero isa na rin siya sa mga naging driving forces for my music to become successful. Kaya as much as possible, tinatry ko talaga maging 100% unfiltered, unapologetic with my music, and nagtatranslate naman siya, thankfully.
Among the songs in Inferno,
Mm.
which was the most difficult to write?
Um, ang pinaka-difficult to write was Trust. Even though ang bilis ko siyang na-write, nasulat, difficult because ang daming parts ng conversation na kinailangan kong i-reconstruct.
Why so?
Because the whole confrontation is not pleasant to hear.
I see.
Kaya kinailangan ko siya, and ayoko rin gawin yung song na parang sinisiraan ko yung other person. Gusto ko, ano pa rin siya, it revolves around what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, instead of just bashing the other person.
Taylor Swift, makinig ka ha. It's a joke. Oh, ganun ba?
Mm-mm. So yun, parang me-centric siya pero without actually destroying another person.
I never got to ask this
Mm.
sa'yo, but now, here's my chance.
Mm.
Anong kaibahan ng... kasi EDM artist ka nung
Mm.
nagsimula eh.
Yes.
Now you're treading the path of a P-pop, a
Yes.
solo artist. Stylistically or maybe musically, anong kaibahan ng EDM at P-pop?
Siguro technical wise, wala masyadong difference because P-pop draws from K-pop, and K-pop is heavily inspired by European music, European dance music na very prevalent sa EDM. So ang naging difference lang talaga is the genre itself. Nagkaroon lang ng specific na this is Filipino pop. Pero pag idadissect mo yon, it's still dance music talaga. Kaya mas more on terminologies lang siya and the way people respond to it.
How's your journey as a P-pop artist?
So far, okay siya. Okay siya because people are now understanding my music better. Ever since i-rebrand ko siya as a P-pop song, mas naintindihan nila kasi gets nila yung history ng K-pop. Kasi very much associated ang P-pop with K-pop. And hindi na ganun kahirap mag-discuss ng genre. Because with EDM, kailangan mo pang discuss ko anong meaning ng acronym, anong saan ang galing, ano yung mga genre, subgenres sa ano na yun, sa main genre na yun. Pero with P-pop, understood na if it's P-pop, it's dance music. Ganun.
And in a way, you were part of this small group that opened doors for the likes of SB19, Alamat, who are enjoying the fruit of being brave musically. Kasi
Yes.
but there was a time na you were the only one doing what you were doing.
Yes, yun
And
din
you stuck to your guns.
Yun din yung napag-usapan namin during the P-pop Awards because one of the jurors doon, si Caleb Santos, was part of Accelerate, one of the pioneers ng P-pop when it comes to groups.
Oh.
Then si Hazel Faith naman, who's a close friend of mine, P-pop soloist na female. So parang kami yung mga pioneers and vanguards nung genre na ang tagal-tagal namin pinupush. And finally ngayon, nagkakaroon na ng recognition. Na even though kahit hindi kami yung nasa top, but at least nagkaroon na ng recognition and notice sa genre na pinupush namin before. Because P-pop is an evolution of OPM. Lahat ng sounds na hindi accepted sa OPM, naririnig sa P-pop. Which is high time na mag-evolve yung music natin to compete globally.
Right. Like ganito na lang, if I look at you, I would say, uy, parang kung magdamit siya, parang BGY o alamat. But if you look back, actually, nauna na si Jace doon. Ganyan ka na magdamit even before.
Yeah,
you're always, di ba?
Passion forward na ever
Passion
since.
forward, yeah, that's a term. Passion forward. But I know na the numbers tell you na your songs are loved by people now, but it wasn't like that in the beginning.
Yes.
Pero how about in terms of dancing? Because you're a P-pop artist, many P-pop artists dance well.
Yes.
And many P-pop artists pride themselves for training for so many years.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to throw that question
Yeah.
at you. Do you dance well? And
Yeah.
how many years did you train? Kasi yun ang yabang, di ba? Na parang, ang P-pop artist, matagal yan mag-train.
In terms of my journey to becoming a recording artist, 10 years worth ang training ko.
Ah, wow.
But before I appeared sa Walang Tulugan in 2013, that was 5 years of training.
Wow.
And trained ako sa performing arts, acting, singing, and dancing. Even though I dance well, pinakita ko rin naman sa Forever music video that I can dance. Magkakaroon kasi na how do I differentiate myself from all the P-pop artists na lahat sila sumasayaw. So ako, i-deviate ko yung sarili ko na hindi ako sasayaw sa songs ko because lahat sila sumasayaw na.
Okay. So hindi ka pressured na, shucks, lahat ng P-pop artists, they dance well, kailangan makipagsabayan ako.
Hindi naman po. Kasi lagi naman talaga akong going against the current ever since. Na kung ito yung trend, hindi ko susundan yung trend. I'm gonna make my own trend. And yun yung talaga magsiset apart sa akin from the others. Kasi yun din ang ina-advocate ko na to be unique. Paano ka magiging unique kung ginagaya mo lahat ng ginagawa ng mga tao sa paligid mo?
Don't you like it easier for you? It would be easier for you if you just go with the flow. Does it cross your mind sometimes na,
Yes.
why am I making it so hard for me?
Yes. Earlier this year, willing na ako to sell out. Na wala na akong magpapaka-industry puppet na lang ako. Pero sinampal sa akin ng reality na no, you have to stand your ground. Na yun, you are known for your artistry, so bakit may give up yun?
Right. Kasi nakikita ko naman, Jace, like whenever I think about your arrangement, musical arrangement sa mga songs mo, then lyrically, alam ko you have the capacity to adapt. You know the game, you know the numbers needed to achieve that sound na ginagawa ng iba, but you choose not to do that. Di ba?
Yeah, even with yung P-pop during the time of my release, puro heavy dance club music sila. Then nag-release ako ng Be Someone na medyo pop R&B chill. So very very polar opposite na mga nire-release sa market. Kasi pag ganun, nasabay-sabay kami nagre-release ng ganung type of upbeat tracks, masasaturate masyado.
Right. Back to Inferno. Wow, talagang sa isang classic book pa ang inspiration mo, no?
Yes. Yes.
What do you read, Jace? Who do you read?
Nowadays, kasi I don't really read as much. Pero yung Inferno kasi inaral namin nung high school. So, nag-stick na rin siya sa akin. And it's one of the literary works talaga na nag-leave ng impact sa akin because of how things were discussed. And siguro looking back, yun din yung naging ko, na kunwari magiging writer man ako, I want it to be as descriptive as possible. Na hindi siya puro metaphoric references and yung mga mga butterfly words yung ginagamit.
Tama. Do you have a favorite author?
Paulo Coelho.
Oh.
Ayan. Pero ano ba yun? Tuesdays with Maury.
Yeah. Kalimutan ko yung name. Yeah.
Yes, ayan. Yun yung book na ginawa niya. And isa rin yun sa nag-leave ng impact before. Pero ngayon kasi
That's with the dying grandfather ba? Tuesdays with Maury.
I don't remember na yung premise, but during the time kasi na I was reading it, na parang nag-resonate ako with the literary work. Pero nowadays kasi I really do hate reading. isa ako sa mga types na usually if bigyan ako ng mga something to read, magsiskim and scan lang ako. Then mas more auditory talaga ako. So ang last na auditory book na pinakinggan ko was about spiritual awakening. So yan.
Meron ako, nung binabasa ko yung prepared statement mo about this album, I
Mm.
came across this part na parang some of the songs are also commentaries on culture.
Yes. Yes. Like, yung Back to the Beginning is about yung toxic Filipino culture na about sa families. Na, yun nga, everything nililay out na for you, dapat sundin mo. If hindi mo sundin, masama kang anak, rebelde ka, black sheep ka. Na, it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way. Na, dapat you get to live your own life. And with our culture kasi na very family-oriented, na and importante rin yung hierarchy within the family na kung magulang ka, ikaw masusunod, kung anak ka, you don't have the right to be right. Yun yung mga topics na mahirap i-discuss publicly but tinatry ko i-discuss kasi at some point kailangan magkaroon ng conversation around it.
Tama. It's not always about age.
Yes.
It can't always be about hierarchy. Diba? Well, you touched on it briefly, no, dito sa huling sagot mo sa akin. Pero for you, what's the most toxic Pinoy trait, would you say? Pinoy way? Or Pinoy, you know what I mean?
I guess yung pinaka-toxic dun na you can't cut ties with your family no matter how toxic they are. Pero ako, even though family yan kung toxic yan, dapat mag-ano ka na, part ways na kayo. So yun yung
parang malalim yan,
isa yun sa mga controversial na pag sinabi mo, I know I'm not in speaking terms with my sibling, ganyan. Ang daming tanong na hindi dapat kasi kapatid mo yan, ganyan. But kung toxic yung tao and wala siyang ibang ginawa kundi i-berate ka to make you feel down and negative and all, then hindi mo kailangan ng ganun type of relative in your life.
Automatically dito sa culture kasi natin, pag ikaw yung mas bata tapos ganyan yung view mo, bastos ka, ingrata ka.
Yes.
Diba? Without even considering sino bang may punto.
Yes.
Regardless of age.
Yes.
Pero in general, is there a Filipino custom or tradition na you don't agree with? Well, let's soften it a bit. Wag nang toxic, you don't agree with. Like, di ba, may mga tayo like bayanihan or yung di ba may ganung thinking?
Crab mentality.
Crab mentality. So, what is it that you most hate?
Yung saying po and opo.
Oh.
Using honorifics. Na just because you don't say po and opo, it doesn't mean bastos ka na.
It's true.
Kasi yun yung laging sinasabi na kailangan mo mag po and opo. Pero it depends kasi kung paano yung delivery mo. You can get away without using those words. Basta for as long as respectful yung delivery mo ng words. Kasi ako, usually if you grew up in a household na English lang, talagang hindi ka sanay mag-po and opo. Sinanay ko lang yung sarili ko talaga growing up to say those words. Because growing up, lahat ng cousins ko were English speaking. So, wala sa dictionary ko yung po and opo. And it's something I had to learn. And something na-realize ko na, just because hindi ako nagsasabi nun, bastos na agad ako.
Right, yeah.
Yung iba kasi, requirement siya na you have to say po and opo.
I was about to say, let's put that in context kasi dito sa atin, pag hindi ka nga nagpo at opo at mas matanda sa'yo, wala kang galang.
Yes.
And in the same way na lahat, you're expected to call people ate, tito, kahit hindi mo naman kamag-anak.
Yes.
Pero alam mo, meron akong share ko lang sa'yo, Jace. Meron ako dating senior na journalist who told me, alam mo, pagbabayaran mo yung kaka-sir and po at opo mo later kasi it makes you subservient to them. When in fact, colleagues lang naman kayo, mag-peers kayo. Just because he's older doesn't mean na mas siya sa'yo. And it doesn't mean na pag ni-recognize mo yung equality mo, bastos ka na.
Yes.
And it's true, kasi nung naging boss na ako, ang awkward na natanggalin ko yung po at opo and sir and ma'am when in fact, mas mataas na yung position ko.
Ayun na lang. Whenever I don't want to use po and opo, nag-i-English na lang ako.
Pero hindi, I mean, okay naman din.
Yeah.
If you choose to
Yeah.
use point, opo, pero don't expect it from everyone.
Yeah, by default lang kasi, by default ganun yung thinking na bastos ka agad just because hindi ka nag-honorifics.
Right. I mean kung yun lang, by default lang na hindi porket hindi ginawa ay bastos
Yes.
na. At yung taong gumagawa nun ng pot, opo, minsan hindi siya dahilan. Diba? What are your plans for next year?
Plans for next year is, ngayon kasi with December, puro tayo mga Christmas events. So, I won't be appearing in any networks muna. So, January ako magkakaroon ng network appearances. Then, ngayon kasi nag-finishing touches na ako for the debut album next year. So, preparing na rin ako for Paradiso next year. And nag-create na rin ako ng music na kung ano mangyari after Paradiso. So, ano lang siya, it's a series of creation, preparation, and hopefully makita nila yung hard work na ginawa ko this year sa 2023.
Are you nervous?
Nervous because, ayun, as I've mentioned during our MediaCon a couple of months ago na mas adult themes na yung i-discuss ko. So medyo nervous ako because, again, yung mga adult topics, hindi na siya ganun ka-well perceived sa culture natin because yung culture natin is very repressed. Kaya me discussing those taboo topics, medyo tignan natin kung ano magiging reception ng tao. Kasi nag-green jokes pa lang ako, medyo nagre-react na yung fans. Pero that's another side of my personality kasi. Slowly, pinapakita ko na yung totality ko as a person and as an artist. Kasi maraming parts ng personality ko were siguro filtered during my time as an actor. Then ngayong singer ako, ngayon ko lang talaga na-showcase lahat. So may kita na lang different aspects of myself na hindi lang ako seryoso, hindi lang ako, may other facets pa yung personality ko na hindi nila nakikita.
Will the coming works show a more collaborative Jace Roque?
Yes. Nagko-collaborate na ako with different when it comes to the production, nakikipag-collaborate na ako when it comes to the production part. But as far as creating music, tignan natin because si Hazel Faith, yung long-time friend ko, for years we've been trying to find the right project for us kasi medyo polar opposites yung music namin. Like sa kanya very light and happy and kilig, then sa akin very dark and heavy topics. So naghanap pa kami ng middle ground, pero yun yung something na ang tagal na namin pinaplano na hopefully magkaroon ng fruition next year. Kasi as songwriters, kaming dalawa, hirap kami to sing other people's songs. Kaya magka-collaborate kami on writing something that we're both comfortable with. And hopefully yung mga minamanifest kong collaborations sana mangyari rin next year.
Are you open to collaborating with more mainstream industry players, not just singers? Like sometimes I think, ano kaya tunog if Jace sings a duet with Morissette, or if his songs are produced by Jonathan Manalo, or if his drummer is, if his keyboard works are done by Marvin Querido, those things. Do these things cross your mind too?
Yes. Isa sa mga dream writing duo na gusto ko maka-work before was Yumi and Thyro. Then I've always dreamt of collaborating with Sir Jonathan then because he is one of my idols when it comes to music production, songwriting, and the music industry in general. And yun din na parang siguro collaborating with someone who's outside my genre and to see if we can create something that's in between would be interesting. So yung parang kayong tunog kung mag-upbeat pop si Moira. Yung ganun.
Ay, medyo inano niya na, di ba? Kasi meron siyang song na babalik.
Yes.
Yeah, medyo sa wakas nag-release siya na mabilis after itibo-tibo. I have my last two questions. Ito, what was the worst kasi nabasa ko to sa isang description of one of your songs na nagkaroon ng point na sumobra o pumangit yung expectation sa'yo ng family and friends just because of your fame, if you can call it that?
I guess, ano kasi, siguro ngayon, like, yung mga recent travels ko, I've been hanging out with my non-showbiz friends na parang mas dun ko na-appreciate na I really need to go back to my roots, na yung mga taong kilala ko even before I was recognizable. Na parang yung mga taong walang pakialam na after everything that happened sa career ko, na I'm still the same person they met decades ago. Na importante yun because in journey ko sa showbiz, I was surrounded with yes men, yes women na nag-feed lang ng ego mo, which isn't really good. Then yung expectation ng industry na you have to be this, that. When I was a contract artist, ang daming stipulations sa contract na dapat kong sundin about my image. And it really messes you up as a person na parang, yun nga para nagiging product ka na lang.
Yeah.
So I really did strive very hard na hindi maging manufactured artist because yun yung mga struggles na na-experience ko along the way na ayoko rin sana ma-experience ng mga artists that will come after na lalabas ng mga bago ngayon ng mga up and coming na sana hindi nila ma-experience ko ano na-experience ko because at some point you will break talaga because ano na yan, magkakaroon ka ng identity crisis which isn't really fun.
You refuse to be a commodity to be marketed.
Yes, ayun, I refuse to be an industry puppet, to be to be manufactured. Kasi yun rin naman yung mga things na binabato sa mga ibang artists na hindi rin maganda, hindi rin like, kunyari kung Disney star ka na galing ka sa Disney factory, mga ganun. Yun yung mga bagay na ayoko ring ibato sa akin. So, I really fought hard para ma-reclaim yung identity ko as an artist.
Last question ko, Jace. Paano, I think, banner year mo to, no? Itong 2022.
Yes.
May mga nominations ka and your songs, ang laki ng numbers behind them. Ano na ang goal mo ngayon? Ano na ang next milestone na gusto mo?
Kasi na-check ko na yung mag 1 million. So parang, check naman natin mag 1.1.
Kaya. Baka bukas nga lang, ano?
Iaangat lang ng onte because every time nga po na na-achieve ko yung mga nasa nasa wish list ko, parang ano pang pwede kong i-achieve naman next time to inspire myself to work harder. And mga ganun, hindi ko lang talaga pinipressure yung sarili ko, but siguro ang next goal ko naman talaga is to go back to the international scene since doon ako nanggaling. So ang goal ko naman is to go back doon and since ngayon aside from SB19 yung first one na P-pop group nag-number 1 na rin sila sa Billboard trending charts. Now hopefully
what's the name of the group?
First one.
Are they Filipino?
Yes, Filipino group sila na after SB19 sila lang ulit yung next P-pop group na nag-appear sa charts. And na-meet ko rin sila sa P-pop Awards. So parang nandun na tayo. Kung kami nila Hazel, nila Accelerate, nila Caleb yung nag-pave ng way for P-pop, yung mga current groups naman ngayon nagpe-pave ng way for us to go international. So parang lang siya, bigayan. So hopefully makabalik ako sa international scene.
Do you feel the respect from them? From the P-pop groups?
Well, it's good that they're acknowledging Accelerate. Pero I think kulang pa yung acknowledgement sa mga contributions ng lahat ng mga artists that gave birth to P-pop. Right. Masala na with mga soloists kasi dominated by groups tayo ngayon. So sana mas ma-highlight pa yung contributions ng mga soloists, which is yun yung pinaghihirapan namin ni Hazel na hindi lang groups ang meron, ang dami nating soloists.
Right.
Dapat bigyan din ng importansya because yun nga, we've been here since way back.
Even before this exploded.
Yes.
Okay, finally, please invite them to check out Inferno and to watch out for Paradiso.
So, ayun guys, I'm inviting you all to support Inferno, the mini album, which is coming out on December 16, which is 2 days before my birthday because birthday ko is on December 18.
Happy
So,
birthday!
thank you, December baby. So, pwede nyo na itong gawing birthday gift for me. And kayo rin naman yung nag-request, kaya pinovite ko lang. So, yun. So, abangan nyo rin yung mga music ko na nalalabas next year. But, very thankful rin ako because nasa cover tayo ng Fresh Finds Philippines Best of 2022 kung saan nag-appear yung tatlong singles natin. We hold the number 2, 3, and 12 spot out of 50 songs na na-release
Wow,
this year.
galing!
So,
Galing,
very thankful ako na aside from our streaming data, meron din tayong chart achievement. Kaya, very thankful lang talaga ako and ayun, thankful lang sa lahat ng supporters, sa media, sa press, sa mga networks because hindi ko ma-achieve tong recognition na meron ako ngayon if it weren't for you guys. Na parang kahit gaano kaganda yung produkto mo, kung wala namang tumatangkilik, wala din. Kaya team effort talaga siya. Hindi ko sinusolo yung recognition ko.